All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle and great millstone, our teachers, and salutations to the icon teaching the truth of the folk on the earth and showing city with the light week in, week out, and on YouTube land. So this is another lesson through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai that's going into all hell gonna break loose soon, man. And prophecy wrapping up, the Lord's prophesied about a time that never been before. And we're approaching that time pretty soon. It's called Jacob's trouble, man. And with everything that's going on with the vaccination, hell can break loose this year. Hopefully soon, man. So I got a precept unless you got something. This Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. It says, "Arise, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It's even at the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And that's what we're approaching, man. Because Donald Trump activated the National Guard, and he moved military into your country or your city or whatever you at. And what you think these people for? Hey, with this famine approaching, things about to get intensified pretty soon, man. Because we already starting to have race wars and certain things across the world. So what you think they're gonna have to come down on top of the people and martial law will be in the streets? You got something?
Yeah, it is Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and laid his hand on the wall, and a servant bit him. Should not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? So that's the day of the Lord is, man. Like you said plainly, it's darkness, which means what? It's going to be chaos everywhere. All right, it's going to be chaos. There's no place you're going to be able to run to, man. All right.
It's Daniel 12, verse 1. It say, "At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand for the children of thy power. And there shall be a time of trouble which shall never have seen that was a nation, even at the same time." Because guess what? We heard about the captivity when we was in Egypt and how the Lord delivered us. We heard about how the Lord put us in several captivity. But this time that we approaching right now, this time ain't gonna never been a face of the earth, man. Because the Lord about to do some things that people never even seen of, man. This famine that's about to hit is going to be worse than any famine that we read about, man. And that's the time that these scriptures prophesy. Bad times, man. They say, "At that time, my people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." And that's time of the book of life, man. The elect. So the ones that were predestinated, that was chosen, that preached the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that prophesied about the downfall that's to come, because the Lord gave us a mission. The mission was to warn the people, to let the people know what's things to come, and we prophesying the things to come. Destruction is coming, darkness is coming, man. Evil right. Going to bad times.
That's right. Hey, it says, "Hereby knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men." That's in I believe 2 Corinthians 5. And then you got in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, it talks about this place melting, elements melting, and it said, "What man of person are you to be? And all holiness and conversation, man, hasten the day, hasten the coming of the Lord." All right, because we look for new heavens and new earth. So knowing the Lord, that's the end game, man. Hey, Matthew 10:34 said the Lord is not coming to bring peace, but a sword. So what's coming upon this place, man? Great death and destruction, man. This is Zephaniah 1 and 14. Verse 12. I'm gonna start at 11. "How ye inhabitants of Zephaniah 1:11. Because go ahead on a couple of things, man. Verse 10. "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down." All right, that's part of this economy is crashing right now, man. All right, because it's prophesied that the Lord's going to take this shit down, man. All right, what's going to come with that? All right, hyperinflation. All right, great death, destruction, chaos, famine. All right, and those are things that's mentioned in 2nd Ezra. Lord willing, we hit on that, man. All right, it says that men shall basically rob their neighbors because of the lack of bread. All right. "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver I cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that I settled on their leads. That say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. You know, judgment starts with Israel, man. So, you know, that's why we started talking about what? Jacob's trouble. But this is going to go from just it being on Israel, it's going to be attached to all nations, man. All right, Isaiah 34th chapter. It goes to Esau, we have been destroyed, but it starts off talking about what? All the nations been destroyed. Obadiah talks about the destruction of Edom, all right, but then it goes to what? The destruction of all nations, all right? This destruction that's coming is really for the heathens, but because 2/3 of people settled on their leads, all right, they're going to be punished with uncircumcised, as it is written, man. That say in the heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore, their good shall become a booty, and their house of desolation, they also shall build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. So look, Esau finna be snatching people out their cribs, man. Plain and simple. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hastens greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. All right, what's the voice, man? The prophets. We're prophesying. All right, and now what? This is the year of prophecy. The Lord's performing the thing that his voice said. And so, hey, you tough guys, man, we're going to see how tough you really are when the Lord starts bringing these judgments down. All right. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. When you go in the ancient world, when those alarms went off, when people was blowing a horn, what that meant? Danger was there, man. Same thing now. They got those emergency sirens. That's for when danger comes, man. So what? It's going to be danger against these cities. And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall pour out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. They're going to be confused, lost, not know what to do, and they're going to be slaughtered, man. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. You know, I'll make a speedy riddance. The nukes, what? The nukes says in 1 hour. So because that's just travel time. Once it hits, it's a wrap.
So and plus the Lord said he's gonna stop time. So a lot of things, man, you don't want to mess with the Lord. It's a filthy thing to fall in the hands of the living power, man. And a lot of these people, especially these other nations, but a lot of these 2/3 are gonna regret the things that they have done, man. They say they shall be dwelling the day of our power, man. Because this time that the prophets have been prophesied, because the brother was talking about back in the ancient days, hey, what we do, we lift up that we sound the alarm. Jeremiah talked about that, man. This Jeremiah 4:19, it say, my bowels, I am pained about in my very heart. My heart had made a noise in me, and I cannot hold my peace, because they have heard of my soul the sound of the trumpet, the alarm of war. And that's what we back in ancient days, hey, we sound the alarm for the war when the enemy is finna come in. And this it tell you what in Revelations 12:12 that this man about to come with great wrath, man. Because guess what? He know that his time is about to be up. So that's why we warning and telling the people that these things to talk about the times that come, man. That second Esdras talked about, man. Can I get this? This second Esdras 9:1. It say, he answered me then and said, measure the time diligently in itself. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Measuring the time, knowing the time that we're living in. Living at any time that things can break loose. All hell can break loose, man. And they already reported in June that 3,000 people shall die from this fucking virus, man. So even that alone let you know that this man is gonna bring the pain. It say peace and safety and sudden destruction shall come upon you. There's no reason why these people should open up the government, or they telling you that the economy is gonna bounce back. It's all lies, man. Because the Heavenly Father ordained this place to be destroyed. It said, and when they'll see the part of signs pass, which I told thee before, and the signs are speaking. We can go into Matthew's 24th chapter, Isaiah the 26th chapter, man, when the Lord said he's going to visit the earth with earthquakes and tempests, man. The Lord spoke upon when he's about to arrive. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time when the Most High will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And we see that, man. Earthquakes been going off and on for the last years. Now we starting to see uprises of the people in America, man, because of what this stupid ass COVID-19. And also, man, it's gonna be more rises when that famine, when people start seeing prices go through the roof, and these people gonna lose their mind. Verse 4, then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spared these things from the days that were before, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we approaching the end. It tell you in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the one that the beginning and follow it, man. The kingdom of heaven is in you. So the Lord was going to bring his kingdom regardless if Esau bring his things regardless. He just wanted to come on. What you waiting? What's the wait? What's the hold up, man? It say, verse 5, but we waiting on the Lord. Everything have appointed time in heaven. It say, for like as all that is made in the world have beginning and the end is manifest. Even so, the time also as the Most High have plainly begun in wonders and power works and any and faith and signs, man. And the Lord is showing his power right now, man, by letting these things come to pass, showing the man the Lord that that these prophecies is real, man. Our faith shows to be even more boldly, man. And keep praying that the days be shortened. Verse 7, everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by his faith, where you shall believe, man. And you have to believe and show your works, man, because that's the only way you're going to get out this hellhole, this thing that's to come. Acknowledge that the Lord is your power. Hey, that's all the Lord wanted us to do. It say through confession, your mouth is made into salvation. Letting the Heavenly Father know that you're sorry, that you need his help. And that's how he's going to come deliver you out of the time that we are approaching. You got it.
God, this 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Real quick, you can get Jeremiah 28 on that. And grab whatever else you can get. This 2nd Ezra 15, that 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my prophets. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. You know, so this book is a book of prophecy, like it plainly says, man. All right, and what does the prophets come to do? Ezekiel tell you that it was written there, raining without, lamentations, mourning, and woe. Right. But let's see what Jeremiah 28:8 says, man.
This Jeremiah 28:8, the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And that's all that's coming to this place, man. All right, because this is the end of this kingdom. All right, it's our salvation, yes, but it's the end of a kingdom. The Lord said in Ezekiel 37 is going to raise up that exceedingly great army, which is us getting our heritage back. But what comes with that? The fall of our enemy. This Isaiah, let me get this Isaiah. It's Isaiah 41. It's gonna be Isaiah. Let me see. It's Isaiah 43. All right, let me see. Yeah, Isaiah 43 as a spirit. Isaiah 43:3. For I am Yahweh thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. So the Lord is going to bring all this destruction to hell for what, man? To save us, to deliver us out of the hands of our enemies, man. All right, what's that? I believe Joel, the 3rd chapter. It's Joel 3 and hold on. Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, so the Lord is bringing this great judgment. He's like the brother titled it, all hell about to break loose. All this hell and destruction is about to come to this place. All right, because of the pride these people have and touching the Lord's anointing, man. The Lord's anointed. All right, touching the children of Israel. Like it says in Psalms 83, going to hide our heritage, man. The Lord is going to bring judgment on that. And the reason 2/3 of our people are going to die is because they attached to this devil, man. All that I found, all that are joined to them shall be thrust through. So now back in the 2 Esdras 15 and verse 1, we got something.
I got that what you just quoted. It's Isaiah 13. Actually, I'm going to start up at 11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And that's what the Lord is about to do, man. And that's what you see with all these proudful people that walk around up and down. You can't tell them nothing. It's people that's in wheelchairs that's still proud, man. And that's why the Lord is trying to bring this evil, because of the wickedness of our people and Esau and the other nations that put upon us. Because they say, what, all on the rulers, so are the people. He pushed out wickedness upon our people, man. They say, and will lay the low haughty of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the gold of Ophir. And that's what the Lord is about to do. A man of the Lord is going to be precious in that day. It say, verse 13, therefore I will shake the heaven, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of the hosts, and the day of his fury anger. And that's what the Lord is about to do, finna bring down that fury of anger, man. And it shall be as the check roll, as a sheep that no man take up. They shall, and they shall every man turn to their own people and flee to their own country, and every one that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword, man. And all you 2/3 that join into all these other heathens, hey, even Esau Edom, man, because he in a power seat, hey, you're going to get that same judgment, man. Because you chose wickedness, man. You say, it's tell you in Isaiah 28 chapter, you made a covenant with death. Hey, you agree with this thing, man. That's why you're going to get this judgment. This Jeremiah 51, verse 7, it say, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hands that make all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's what it is, because all you other nations got in the bed with Esau or Edom, with all philosophies, it's Christianity, man. And it's starting to trickle down on that people, and they see that this shit was all a bullshit. It was a hoax. Verse 8, it say, Babylon is sullen and fallen and destroyed. How for her take bonds for her pain, and so she might be healed. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let her go everyone to their own country, for her judgment reaching to in heaven, and it's lift up even to the skies, man. Because ain't no coming back for this place, man. Babylon is through. You starting to see the economy is through. Hey, the only reason the stock market ain't been dropping lately because they keep pumping money into the stock market, man. Hey, a lot of these CEOs, hey, all step down, man. Hey, it's proven that this economy is through. They 30 million people unemployment, man. Hey, it never been that worse since the Great Depression, man. We overpassed the Great Depression, man. And more people announced. Uber just announced, 34 employees, 100 employees finna be laid off, man. This place is through, because the Lord have numbered this place to get destroyed, man, soon. I get this over pretty soon.
The 2 Esdras 15 and 1. Behold, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So these things will come to pass. They're happening before our eyes. Fear not the imaginations against thee, that not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So look, if motherfucker don't believe it, that's on you, man. You're going to die in their unbelief. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, now it's the time of judgment, man. Hey, the Lord required that which is past. The Lord allowed this devil to be loose for a season. I say this devil, talking about Esau Edom, so-called white man, self-proclaimed white man. There's nothing white about him. He's red. All right, but hey, the scriptures prophesied that the devil make himself as an angel of light. Esau did that. He named himself white. Okay. All right, but his time is up, man. He's fucked the whole planet up. Definitely fucked us up, right? And now it's time for his judgment. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Salakia. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So every level of this place is finna get fucked up, man. From the top to the damn bottom, man. From the attic to the basement. All right?
Right.
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fell through the blasting of hell and with the fearful constellation. And we seeing that starting out on some level, man. All right? Last year, the Lord jacked up the harvest. All right? He even took down the reserve seeds they had. And this year, people are feeling the effects of it, man. And they want to blame COVID for it. No, man, it's a food crisis. The Lord has started to jack this place up. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, we're starting to see these riots happening more, man. Even last year across the world. All right, you had them in South Africa, you had them across Europe and France, all right, and Haiti, South America, all right, Australia. These riots have been happening, man. All right, and guess what? Now, due to this COVID lockdowns, you're starting to see people armed militias go to their state buildings in America. Hell, you even had Antifa and the right wings, you know, going at it over the last couple of years, man. That's right. So look, this is gonna turn up even more. Soon it's gonna be invading one. People gonna be kicking in, doing kick those to get their neighbors food. All right. And even just the bloodlust, hey, violence is just going to increase, man. The spirit of violence is about to get heavy out here. It's another thing, man. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right? Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day to my chosen, so will I do also in recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. All right. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. So that's what's got to come, man. Hey, like the brother said, pick the title, man. All hell's about to break loose, man. The Lord finna hit all of them, man. From the armies to the citizens, man. To the armies to the civilians. All right.
And it's
Shalom, man.
Matthews 24. Verse 12, it say, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what it is. All hell finna break loose. Hey, you finna really see the animal in these people, especially the people that you so-called call your friends or your family members, man. Hey, we're gonna see when no food in your house or when things get rough, who's really down with you, man. Hey, this second Esdras 6 and 22. It said, and suddenly shall the soaring places appear unsoaring, the full storehouse shall surely be found empty. And that's what we started approaching. The elder brother Benji talked about how the Lord made the climate and fucked up the weather, and farmers couldn't grow their crops. So now we're starting to see the factors that in 2020, because this famine is going to hit on a wide scale. It's a 23. They say any Wendy's reported that they not even serving beef in certain locations, man.
Hey, brother just posted a thing a second ago. It says nationwide meat shortage reach New Orleans area restaurants. That's a YouTube video. I ain't clicking because when the live stream. But now I'm clicking that shit. This is a commercial.
A nationwide shortage of meat products is starting to impact local restaurants. Our Megan Key spoke with restaurant owners to find out how they're coping. You don't have to go far to find local restaurants affected.
Well, look at, I'm going to just read this little part. It said, I had to switch sometimes to different cuts of meat, to different purveyors, to different selections. I had to be flexible. Toop said, I normally get my chickens from one place, but I had to switch and move to another place. Right now, I'm getting fresh shrimp from Grand Isle. I had to get my chicken from Tyson, so it's kind of a balance. Fucking a fresh shrimp. And man, they go out of business soon, man. Hey, but it's affecting them though. That's the point. Like the brother's going into that shortage. What Wendy's talking about, man. That's a big change. All right.
Verse 23.
I think I forget. It was a thing on McDonald's too. It started to affect McDonald's. You know, I think they're not selling certain shit. You know, like even Wendy's, they're not selling certain stuff no more, man. Certain beef stuffs.
Verse 23, it say, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be afraid. At that time shall friends fight one another like enemies.
Did you already hit the verse that says the full?
You kind of want to hit it again?
No. Because another point, hey, even they limiting the amount of meat you can buy at the grocery stores, man. You know, because it's a shortage. Now the Lord is jacking this place up because he destroyed a lot of cattle last year with the same flood that flooded the crops. You know, it's destroyed a lot of cattle. But then you got Esau, which is the sword of the Lord, because it's still the Lord doing it. But you got this devil, all right, because he's doing it in the flesh. Esau, Edom, got them killing the cattle off.
Yeah.
They killing chickens.
Yeah. All
right, pouring out hundreds of gallons of milk. He's even further bringing the famine, man. But that the Lord says he's going to come down in great wrath. All right. I said the wicked is the Lord's sword in Psalm 17, and Isaiah 10 is called the whipping stick of the Lord. It's called the rod of his anger. Okay, in Isaiah the 10th chapter. So look, this is coming, man.
That's right.
You know,
they say
we got them talking about every damn day, talking about a vaccination. All right, mandatory vaccinations. You're gonna need this vaccine. You're gonna need this for the world to get back to normal. What's coming, man? The mark of the beast is next, man.
That's right.
All right.
They say, at that time shall friend fight one against another like enemies. And that's what the elder brother went into in 2 Ezra 15, man. They say a lack of bread, one shall evade one another, man. And that's what we approaching. Because guess what? When that person don't have food and that baby crying or their stomach is hurt, it is growling, man. And guess what? They're going to be forced to come and invade you. Because guess what? You probably over there eating good, looking good.
Or you got just a little bit. They ain't gonna care. They take your two pieces of bread.
That's right. They say
it's gonna be dog eat dog, man.
That's right.
Hell, in fact, it's gonna be so bad they don't come over there and eat you.
Yeah. It said, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and the 3 hours shall not run. That's it.
Ooh, God. This is it's Revelation. I thought it was Revelation 18. Salakia. There it is. This is Revelation 18 and 21. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. All right, so violence is finna run through these streets, man, on the people. All right, in the cops, the people everywhere, man. It's gonna be a violent spirit, and then this place is ultimately going to end in the most violent way, which is thermonuclear destruction. You know, fire and brimstone. But before that, the Lord's gonna put that spirit of vengeance out there, man. You know.
This 2 Ezra 16. I'm going to start at 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth, like as an archer which is shot of a mighty archer turned not backwards, even so the players that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Now, we know it's talking about when the missiles get shot over here, but when the missiles get shot over here, they're not going to return back into the silos, man. Even all the players that's coming to America, because the Lord said that he shall smite Egypt with players again, and those players not going to return. So it's no returning returning to America. It's not going back to normalcy, man, like people think it is. Verse 17, woe is me and woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days? Now this Esdras talking destruction is me, because guess what? He knew and proven reincarnation, because he knew he was going to be back in those days. We approaching right now. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrow and great mourning. So all this time is just the beginning. The things you see, the famine, all these things is just the beginning. The Lord is just starting to get cooked up, man. It's the beginning of famine and great death. And you finna see a lot of people die from this mass famine, man. And good riddance, because you wouldn't want to get right with the Lord. It's saying the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in their fear. And we see the beginning of wars. Well, United States, Donald Trump told the Iranians that we see any boats, we shooting them and killing them, man, off the sea over there. This war with China never went away. These things is happening. We've been in an armed race with Russia for years. It say the beginning of evils. Which shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as a scourge for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn away from their wickedness, nor always mindful of the scorners, man. Because Israel is hard-headed. Hey, regardless of the fact they still won't get right. It tell you that in Isaiah, the 1st chapter, man. Why you striking me even more? They will revolt more and more, man. Israel is a wicked people, a person. They need the destruction, man. It say verse 21, behold, visuals shall be good cheap upon the earth, and they shall be they should think themselves to be in a good case. And you see those things, gas on a low, but guess what? Gas been creeping up more and more, man. Hey, these prices is creeping up more and more. And guess what? We can't wait till these things run out, because that's when all hell and things gonna really get turned up, man. It say, and even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. Because guess what? Things is going to get intensified. Crime rate, people going to kick rape. All these things is about to come upon the face of the earth soon, man. You got something? Well, that's just a quick lesson. Got no close statements. Hey, we hope this lesson was edified, man. We gonna say, Kala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle and great millstone, our teachers, and salutation to the Akim and teaching the truth of the folk on the urban Trim City, man. Until next time, we're going to say shalom, and a ball.